This is fourth grade flight club with Quinn SW. I hope you're ready. You know, like, in life, there's all sorts of pleasures, all sorts of treats. And why is it that when you go to the candy aisle, it's all Reese's, baby? It's all Reese's, it's all peanut butter and chocolate. And then that fruit flavored stuff. And you know, some of us want more. We don't deserve more. This is a podcast for all of us. Anyways, this is where I wanted to just take a moment and say, genuinely, thank you so much for listening. I hope you tune in again. And this is just a slight audio disclaimer in that, so the first time we tried to do an episode, I grabbed Amanda Daniels and I grabbed Christian Ferraro, our two guests, and it was funny. I told them, you know, like, hey, it's just conversational, like, don't worry about it, but I grabbed two comedians, so I did think that they would sort of know to like riff and try and be funny. But what it ended up being was that they sort of thought that I asked them to not do that. So we initially grabbed like 40 minutes of what ended up just being like a terse personal conversation about our differences, etc. So we kind of like paused that recording and we were all like, why is nobody fucking laughing? Like, why was that not fun, guys? And they were both sort of like, hey, you didn't tell us to fucking like be funny. And I guess I didn't. I thought they would know. I thought they would try and be funny no matter what I fucking told them. But anyway, so we ended up with this like 30 something minutes of like a good like fun time after that recording. So that's what you guys get to hear now, and it was a lot of fun. I have a few more episodes that are coming out, and I'm gonna be posting these on Wednesdays, kind of no matter how messy they are. I'm teaching myself to edit, so like, yeah, the host is just kind of doing everything. So yeah, just honestly, yeah, if anybody who listens to this, it means so much, and thank you. Yeah, so it's really funny. I also somehow ended up that like both of Amanda and Christian's mics totally worked out and they sounded good, but I fucked up my own mic / I wasn't like speaking into it correctly. So it's very funny. I am in the room, even though it sounds like I'm calling in. Keep that in mind.
Talk about mostly it's like it's built off of watching reality TV, specifically Vanderpump Rules, but they riff so much and most of it's just riffing and then they'll talk like a little bit about the episode.
So you want to start? Do you have your you don't have jokes on your phone, but
I do have jokes on my phone.
oh, I thought you just have them on the notebook.
Yeah,
I actually catalog all of my jokes
maybe you should.
electronically.
Okay, yeah, so all right.
You start with your riff. This is your thing.
Oh, well, no, so well, it's like fucking again, it's this. So funny. We were recording this and we hadn't talked about explicitly that this is like a comedy podcast. We were just talking a little more than we were all trying to work.
Quinn gave us no instruction nor any direction.
So I'm gonna start.
I thought there was no chemistry to just having.
So I watch TLC a ton,
Right.
and I love TLC so much that I love like all the shows on TLC. One of the new shows that I've seen was Locked Up in Love.
Ooh.
So Locked Up in Love is about characters and like they find their love of their life in prison. And in prison is like it's like a strange place. How are you going to find somebody you love? But so they follow these people, and one of them, I think their name is like Carson, and Carson is like in prison, but he's dating another woman, but that woman doesn't want to deal with him financially. So she gives him the free reins to be like, okay, hey, go write some other, like people outside and try to get a sugar mama. So they do. Carson ends up 2 weeks before release. He ends up telling the woman that he doesn't love her and that he didn't need her and he was using her for money. Crazy.
Carson, what? Who would have expected that from someone that was in prison? Though?
I wouldn't have. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have.
Shocking.
So this woman takes takes all of the things. She had previously bought a wedding ring from him.
From him?
Like she bought it and put it on because he was like, I want to marry you. We should get married.
Carson.
And then she was like, okay. And she bought a wedding ring. It's like Walmart, but bought a wedding ring.
Yeah.
And she put it on.
It was illuminating.
And then he's like, I don't love you and all this stuff. And she takes it off. She's she's like, I can't believe you did this to me. I want you to know that I'm burying everything that means something to you. He's like, oh, that's a little over dramatic.
He's like,
okay,
like your dog.
right. So cut to, she's driving through the desert. This is in Arizona. She climbs. She's a little bit of a larger lady too. But so she climbs, like she hikes a little farther out. She has a little backpack
That
on.
makes sense.
And in the backpack is the ring, some pictures, the phone that she talked to him with. And she says,
And her flip phone.
she goes, I'm going to bury, and she looks at the camera, she's like, I'm also going to bury one more thing that's super important to him. And she whips out a dildo.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a dildo.
And she held it up to the sky and said, I hope you burn, Carson. And then puts it in there and buries it. And now my thought process is, I cannot wait for 300 years from now when somebody is like excavating the area.
Yeah.
And they find just a bag of a flip phone, some extra pictures, some X-rated pictures, and a dildo. And they're gonna be like, what the hell was going on here?
It's going to be like that picture that you showed me last night of that woman wearing a full gas mask and like a vinyl.
I'm gonna have to pass on.
No. It wasn't. It was like a full body. That would, by the way, be my like what I would wear to be sexy. Go ahead, show Christian. Go ahead and show Christian that.
I love Rita specific.
But this is what I'm gonna be when that's what I'm gonna look like, and I'm gonna unearth that dildo. Like very Darth Vader.
Oh my god.
That's my.
Look, I'm into it.
yeah.
I'm into it.
He's like, if Amanda wore that, I can get it. Like if you're fully covered in a vinyl. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to wear in the future when like it's a barren wasteland. But was she
all leather?
Was she? She was using the dildo
on herself
as Carson.
Yes, and then she'd take the videos and then like show them to Carson.
My God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was actually like, damn. I was like, she
was like pegging Carson.
I was like,
it was like a random, like it was like a purple dildo.
Prostate tickler.
She said,
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, he has his own dildo in prison. I'm pretty sure, but
what?
He
has a penis. Probably assuming a lot.
So sweet.
We're assuming a lot. Well, yeah, he doesn't need
terrifying spirit that's got to exist. It's like you're my dildo. And
that's really,
oh my.
That's crazy.
This isn't as bad. It's just like a first day in jail. Be like, I got off pretty good. Like,
wait. What are the mechanic? Wait, you're.
I don't know if it was a mechanical dildo.
No. You're talking about.
He used to call me the human.
He did?
That was his high school nickname.
Oh my God, yeah. That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
I don't make it easy on you.
Her high school nickname.
I will tell you something.
What's it called?
I know. I have to be the change I want to see.
Yeah. When I was in high school,
cool.
One of my classmates.
It's funny.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We were having a more important conversation. Are you sure? No, please.
I actually started to talk about a thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go on. Please do.
Oh, no. It's just, I've done this with, it's kind of funny. I've done this with every single guy that I'm still like friends with, where there's a thing of like, dude, man. Yep. And then I don't get like, it's so funny. I've set this up really hard where like, I don't get mad till someone calls me he or sir. But the problem is that I've already let somebody like, just,
like the bro kind of.
And the other thing too is that like, when you believe in like, this is the problem with like why all this stuff is like, when you believe that like you can be trans, it kind of doesn't matter what you are. Like you are just a person. But at the same time, it's like I do want to be a woman, and that's possible. And I'm socially starting now, so it's that thing.
Right.
I think that's the thing I'm trying to get across, where it's like, yeah, it's hard to like. Well, yeah, you can be a real Nazi about it too. And I've also met people who like loved it. Basically, I maybe they don't love it, but I've seen a lot of people get misgendered and take it as a time to like be like, you men,
right?
Sorry, I just wanted to make it clear that I knew this.
No, yeah, I wasn't trying to do anything disrespectful. I just,
my bad.
I'm learning with everybody else.
Well, yeah, my bad. I noticed it, and I was like, that I wanted. Yeah, that's weird.
Sorry,
I didn't have some jokes to say about it, so we had. Sorry,
you're good. Another joke. I'll just keep riffing.
Wait, I wanted to tell you about this time that one of my classmates found a dildo in the woods and brought it into school, and it was huge.
What color?
It was
Wait, why did your arms go that big? How big was this?
It was like really. Well, here's the thing. So he He found it at in the woods by Joanna Connell's school. And
Joanna O'Connell is in the city, just so everybody's aware. This wasn't in the woods.
There's woods
This is
behind
Second
Joanna Connell. There's woods behind there on Zimmerly. And he brought it to school at Collegiate Academy, class
High
of
school.
01, and he put it on top of his locker. And then one of like the littlest teachers was carrying it down the hallway. She went and got like 2 plastic shopping bags and like was like carrying
Like a piece of lumber down low, like she was
like a 2x4.
she was picking up lumber at like
He got
Home Depot.
He got suspended.
To catch the long.
We got him, boys.
You gotta pick. You have to
Got him.
That's just Keith. That's what
Yeah.
the teachers were saying. Oh,
when I was in like
His name was Jimmy.
grade, we had this kid who we were all talking, and he's like, my dad has like anger issues.
I can relate.
Yeah, and we were so we were like, okay, and he goes, so my dad has this fake boot
Cannot relate.
squeeze that he squeezes, and
Oh.
what are you talking? We were like, you're lying.
Oh.
And then the next day he comes in and he like, it's like I go over to his backpack and it's like his cubbyhole,
Oh my God.
and he's like, you guys didn't believe me.
He brought in.
And he pulls out what is just like a beautiful like cup like medicine ball like type like
Titty?
fake titty, yeah, like a full like it's skin colored, had a little nipple on it, and really clearly for a grown man
This is shocking.
to soothe himself. And I sort of got
Oh.
throw this in, and then when he's like passing the book around, and we're all first grade, yeah, kids, and all huddled up. It's just like whoa, like and it's literally just and then like yeah, I don't even know. That's where the memory ends. I can't remember.
That's where the memory
And
ends.
you know, honestly, considering I don't remember, like I don't think the teacher got us. I think he put it back in his back.
And just walked it home.
So the dad would like hit the titty or
Gosh
he
darn it.
He grabbed. It's like it's
Slap it.
like
God, I just want to crush my kid's head with a rock. Where's my titty?
I was thinking it was like a stress ball.
Yeah, my dad didn't do that.
No. That's
Sexually.
yeah. Our dads just like hit us like normal dads too. Yeah, exactly.
That's like what you're like referred by the church. Guidance counselor tells an adult man how to soothe himself or something. So I feel like
Slapping a fake titty around.
was there a real medical expert who's like, we need to?
I've never heard of such a thing.
You know, I had never heard of it since, but
Did he have a mom?
I don't. Yeah, Mohawk,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that track. The dad or the kid?
the kid.
Oh yeah.
Dad was definitely bald. If his kid had a mohawk, that's a bald dad.
That is
That's a bald dad trait.
You think so?
For sure.
My
Pretty daughter's bald dad.
Really?
partner's
My dad has a beautiful head of hair.
my brother's dad has a son that like and he gives his son the same haircut as him.
Really?
Yeah, like he
You're my offspring. You're my mirror.
he has this like this like faux hawk like crew cut that he always gives his son,
That's
and we always joke
great.
about it. It's like that.
I think madness.
Yeah.
It is really. I really hate when you see little kids with like their hair styled like super douchily.
I didn't have that. I could just only get one haircut, and my dad was like, "Low fade." You go do a
Did you
job.
go to Marion's barbershop on 30th Street?
I went to So we went to like this old Italian barber. I don't know if it's still up, but it's like Romeo's barbershop. It's right by Coach's. It's like across the street. And then we go in there, and my barber, and he'd go, "What do you want?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, maybe like a little off the top." I'd be like, "Crew cut," and I'd be like, "Yeah." Just like completely melt. There's not much you could say to a 7-year-old Italian that knows how to cut hair, and that's the only thing.
That's
he
it.
knows. Because he's made his living for the last 35 years on telling people like, "What do you want? You don't know what you want? Come here."
He's like, I got one. He got one clipper.
He has one clipper.
What is it? An 8?
Yeah, it's like full bald. It's like, I was like, "Can I get like?" He's like, "No, you can get a crew cut. You can get out." I'm like, "All right, I'll take a crew cut."
I'm so scared.
Or to build confidence.
Right.
They did the indignance to give a haircut and be like, what? What? He did? What?
Oh my goodness.
What's the worst haircut you've ever gotten?
Oh, I could tell you.
Sure.
I wanted to get like the very front part. I was like probably in 7th grade, and I was like, "Oh, spiky hair is big. I have very curly hair." I was like, "Spiky hair's really big." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I was like, "Let me shave, cut this all down lower, and just like leave the front so I can spike it up."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "All right, cool." And they left like this much of it on top. So it was like when I'd leave my head down, it was like they just forget the top half of your head, and I cried repeatedly for multiple days until my mom was like, all right, we'll take you back to, I think I got an emergency cut at Sports Clips.
Oh,
Shout out to Sports Clips for that.
I think I remember like, God, I when I was a little kid, I was like, and this explains why I ended up like this. When I was a little kid, I would like always want to grow my hair out, but my parents never let me. So I think like there were like 2 or 3 haircuts where like literally like I just got like a buzz cut, but especially just because
You were the buzz cut kid?
it starts like I would like cry about having a buzz cut for like a week. Just like yeah.
This will be a test. This will be a real test to see if whether or not Christian is a bully. So let me find the
bully.
Let me find the haircut that I showed you, Quinn. You guys and gals keep talking.
We talked a little bit about ADHD, and one of the jokes that I was writing recently was I was like, you don't really, people with ADHD and like learning disabilities, they don't use or tell anybody about their learning disabilities until college prep courses start coming around.
Yeah.
And then you start hearing about like shit coming out of the woodworks, and that's what I did. Let me see this. I'm big.
And it was that bit. Yeah, but you made the joke. You're like the best birth control. Like that's like you don't want your teen to get pregnant. Give them this haircut.
These are both you.
Yes. Yeah. I got that haircut.
You willingly got that haircut?
Well, let me tell you, I want it. My hands are sweating. This is sending me back. I got that haircut. Like a few, because so here's what happened. I was
This is the 90s.
Yes.
You better tell us all your friends had it.
I wanted.
This would be bad today. This is a bad haircut throughout time.
Talk about being misgendered. People thought I was a boy, and that was before, like a few weeks before I went into 9th grade.
Yeah.
At a new school. It was really sad.
Did you go into the barber and you asked your parent? You asked them, what will give me the least amount of social cred walking into high school?
I went into Famous Cuts, and what had happened was my best friend the summer between 8th and 9th grade cut.
That's what this is. How they just that's just
what are you gonna see it?
That's the best part. That's just you know what?
I'll send you the picture. You
the same thing with the fetish gas mask lady. I'll have to put this up.
Yeah. So
this doesn't even mean that I am a bully. Like if you guys can see this, it'd be hard not to bully this person. It's not even bullying. It's just questions, honestly, that you'd be asking.
If I ask you that question,
you would just be like, "I'm not a bully, no." But this is like one of those. You see this person, you're like, "Did you want that?"
No, I obviously didn't want that haircut.
Is this what you get?
Why
are you wearing a buttoned-up collar in the picture?
We had a dress code, and I think that was
the one is Andy.
That's my brother's name is Andy, and yeah, we look exactly alike. It's really fucked up.
I'm Andy.
It's so no, my best friend like gave me I wanted to be like punk rock, so I wanted her to give me a Chelsea cut, and but we were in 8th grade, so like Chelsea. And my mom let it ride, and then she was like, "Listen, we need to get your hair fixed before you go into the high school." So she took me to Famous Cuts, and the lady just gave me a boy's haircut. Like that was grown out.
He was a very handsome young man.
Thank you. Look at me. Look at RB. Talk about RBF.
That's I don't know. It just adds to that.
I love the fact. When did you decide you were throwing a choker in on that picture? I feel like that didn't come into that.
You know, this was the late 90s, and chokers were cool, and they were cool.
Oh, all right, yeah. She said it. I'll take it.
You're gonna have to take my word for it.
Cool. You know what's so funny? Cool is like when people say cool, it's like they mean a really specific thing.
Yeah,
like it's like cool.
Well, okay, chokers were cool.
Right. Chokers were cool to the 35 people that bought that magazine, and
it was okay.
No, it was a.
I'm sure I got it at Claire's Boutique, which is
shout out to Claire's.
Shout out to Claire's. No, I don't know. Who knows where I got it from? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was like, I need to zhuzh this outfit. I need to zhuzh that terry cloth zip up vest.
I don't think you're doing yourself any favors.
Listen,
Can we talk about the button up?
Yeah, you want to talk about the button?
You had choice of what you could wear. At least
Okay.
It's like well, you look like that.
a light blue button up with a Chelsea cut.
That was
The lesbian McDonald's manager. That's
You look like just the most stereotypical lesbian.
I
of
know.
all time.
I think
munch up.
I know, and I really liked boys,
She
so
owns a Subaru too.
I do own a Subaru. I mean, I'm not.
Parents were probably more confused than you were at the
I
time.
think everyone was pretty confused. I myself included, not because I was like sexually confused. I liked boys. Try getting a guy to like you.
dapped you up.
Yeah.
Bro.
I was like that. That guy was like everyone. The guys that I thought liked me, they just thought I was a boy. I was like, man, these guys love me.
Yeah, they were like, "That's my buddy."
Yeah, my
It's really dykey. It's cool, guys.
Go ahead. I can't stop thinking about how funny that fucking.
yeah, right. So here's why I had to develop a personality.
I can see why you're a stand-up comedian.
I know.
Yeah, that really is tough. Where you're just like being a person. You're like, damn, do I need to get a little hotter or a little cooler, a little personality?
Well, there's only so much you can do with that haircut. So my only choice was to go the personality route.
This might get me canceled, but I would have shaved my head and just claimed cancer.
Honestly,
I would have just shaved my head and claimed cancer.
I could have said it was like growing out from like a bout of childhood cancer.
Right.
I never thought about it.
Wigs
like
were a thing.
I never. Oh my God. I never even thought about a wig. Honestly, I didn't
That's like I'm thinking about wigs. I'm like at the point where I'm just like,
really.
You already have long hair.
yeah, that's true. No, I'm like balding.
You could get a wiglet.
Yeah, slowly, surely though. Well, it's like once I get on estrogen, it should fix it. But even like,
Really?
yeah, in like if you fully start transitioning to a woman in like a month, you're not. You just regrow all that hair.
People are spending thousands of dollars to go to Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Nicole said we'll probably get on estrogen supplements about the same time Quinn does, just because our estrogen's plummeting
Yeah, literally.
as 40-somethings.
It's just expensive. It's expensive, and then it's always this thing of like you gotta go get like blood work. You gotta have them like read out your levels to you, and it's
Right.
honestly. So I've been procrastinating it this because also doctors do try to talk you out of it. They're literally like, "Are you crazy? Shouldn't you fucking fix that for us?"
Right. That's called being a woman and being medically treated, actually. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. You get it. Yeah. The doctors are like, you're like, I have an open wound. Could you stitch it up? They're like, have you thought about losing weight?
Well, yeah, well, so
They're like, could I get stitched first?
well, yeah, and like I've done everything that a doctor.
So you take a couple of chunks out of that wound that I was.
I'm my own doctor in that regard. I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm fine. You know, it's like I just feel like I would have jumped on estrogen, but it's like I just feel like it's the same thing of like it's like getting a nose job. You probably like how many people are gonna be like hey, you didn't need a nose job right then, you know, like I feel like it's like it's a self-centered thing to do.
Well,
I said I have met people that do need a nose job.
I like a good schnoz.
Me too.
Man, I love a good schnoz.
I'm like a strong.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah,
You guys,
I do.
crazy.
Well, you know what's so funny? If I would describe my perfect woman to you, you would just immediately be like, oh, okay, like
No, I mean everybody finds beauty in different
Yeah,
things. I get
what's
it.
that? Like
Don't look at me
really like
thinking about that haircut.
I can't stop thinking about that haircut we see now.
Yeah. Honestly, my ideal woman, it looks like a panda with that haircut.
Yeah.
Hairier and
Oh, I mean, I had a mustache too. I had to bleach it because, you know, Italian and Eastern European. So I was definitely using cream Sally's.
Italian Eastern European turns into a lesbian Asian kid when you cut the
Do I look Asian? A lot of people thought I like I'm like I had a lot of people when I was younger, once my hair grew out, tell me I look like Bjork. And she's Icelandic.
you know what? You do look like you look like Eurasian.
Interesting. I'll take it. Yeah.
You look like yes.
What does that mean?
You look like a
European Asian. You're Asian.
Yeah.
I understand what that, but I mean, I wonder what that means.
You're from Belarusia. The fucking
Yeah. I like that.
like chunk of.
Yeah.
So just like Belarus, like chill out.
You do look kind of Asian. It's like funny. Yeah.
No, I've had people tell me that before. Yeah.
I am part Asian. I'm a little Japanese.
Really?
I don't.
I've never done like a DNA test, and I won't.
So are you so you're mixed race, which is that Italian,
I'm like everything.
black, or white?
I'm Italian. I'm mainly Italian. I'm a little bit black. I've got some Spanish
Oh.
and like from Spain. And,
Oh, wait.
Portuguese.
Sorry. Spanish from Spain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's ambiguous. That is.
You looked like a little boy when you were nice.
I did. Well.
I was into a rose. And Irish.
Irish. Really?
Yeah. I can drink somebody under a car.
Me too, and I'm not Irish. No, I told.
That's his alcoholism.
I know it is.
You're not like you are just always fun drunk. That's the difference. Is like
I am.
it's always when Amanda's drunk, it just becomes like, oh,
Everybody gets drunk. Yeah.
yeah, like it's
Fun times.
it is awesome. Honestly,
It's taken years of.
it's a great trait. Like
Thank you. Well,
See that hair grew fast.
I know it took that bob that I had that took 2 years to get it to grow like that.
Debating on recutting it for college just for character building.
Yeah. I was like, you know what?
Did Pat know you back then?
No. He would have probably liked me though. He's pretty progressive. I don't know.
you drop the word gay.
He's not, but like,
It's a little.
I feel like, he loves me for me. So I don't know. I'll ask him if he thought I was hot when I was in when I was in 9th grade. He's 43. I'm like, do you think I was hot as a
Start putting that
14-year-old?
around the house and see what he says.
I mean, he's definitely
What if
seen
he's
it.
like, hey, can you take this little boy?
Who's this little? No, my mom had that picture up at work, and her friends were like, oh, or work colleagues were like, I didn't know you had 2 sons, because she had my brother's picture and me, and she was like, that's my daughter.
Good.
And you know what? So I don't want to be like, I know what it's like to be transgender, but
No, it's well. So basically, I've had other trans people tell me that I don't.
what? That you don't know what it's like to be transgender?
Basically, yeah. I've had people come at me and be like, "Oh, you're not medically transitioning." I mean, it's like, the fuck are you talking? Like, what do you?
I don't think that.
It is so much more of a fight to like. Well, a lot of people they wait until they're on estrogen and then they say it. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have, but it's like, yeah, I just felt like I should communicate. But I've had people basically tell me like, I don't get it.
I've never interpreted, and again, I mean, maybe I have a little expertise in the area. You saw that picture. I'm just saying.
I think you could definitely say one.
No, but I think
It's like, yeah, literally, like that's social. That's so fun. That's what we're fun. Honestly, yeah, you get that's what we're talking about with this social shit. There's a level of that. So it's like, yeah, bad haircut. Congrats. Kind of a boy now.
no. Right. Well, no, but I think what's interesting, I could have easily used a boys' bathroom and no one would have said boo about it. But
Adam, I would have been like, all right.
obviously, yes, I did live my life as a boy in 9th grade. So, on accident, it was like that one movie. There's a movie in the...
But like the base. Like,
No. What the fuck was the movie? It was like...
white girl.
No, it was like an 80s movie. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Last spring, me and Amanda, we were talking and stuff, and Amanda had been invited by a certain little sex guru scamp comedian down to this show in Morgantown, West Virginia. And the kind of the draw of this particular show was that very clearly it was like a psychedelic thing. You know, the poster was like, designed like a music festival poster. It's like shiny and like trippy. You know, it says stuff on the poster where it's like, you bring ours, we'll bring ours, etc. So, kind of a tacit thing of like, oh, everyone at this comedy show is going to be tripping balls. And they also had advertised that it was going to like turn into a bit of a, like a dance party afterwards, a DJ, that sort of thing. And I really can't recommend Morgantown enough for a good time. They have, just a kick-ass punk scene and a kick-ass comedy scene that are actually kind of like tied together. It's really cool. college town stuff. Fucking WVU is like the biggest party city in America, or at least party college. And it's like, yeah, I heard that like they have the highest freshman dropout rate, which kind of sets the standard for how hard people are partying out there. So at this time, I'm like, I hadn't really like learned that I was like a trans woman. I think I was just getting my finger on that. So at this point, I was like, kind of like in between being like a gross, like classic, like white guy, kind of an edgy young dude comedian, and also being like a little bit more of like a soft, non-binary type, I guess. I was like dead in the middle. Long hair, wearing like a collared shirt, and like carpenter pants. And anyways, me and Amanda, we were like super psyched. We had some fungus that we were gonna take, and so yeah, like it's just super nice drive down. It's absolutely beautiful, just West Virginia's mountains and rolling hills. I remember we were heading down on the way, and we were like just sort of swapping like gossip about our lives, and like open mic comedians in Erie and stuff, and like it was a lot of fun. So we get there, we get to our hotel, we like settle in, we dose up, and so it's really funny. Me personally, yeah, I can admit I have like a bit of a drug problem, you could say, in that like, especially like I really I've taken a good break from it for now, but I really used to love doing psychedelics, and I really used to love just like blowing myself out of the water, like, if you're gonna trip, if you're gonna like buy the ticket, take the ride, like I was just like on this thing of like, oh, let's really go for it. But I'm like bipolar, so especially like when I talk about regretting this stuff, it's not like anything ever went like so bad, but like, like sometimes I would take acid and I would just be like sad in a psychedelic way for like 12 hours, So anyways, that is to say, Amanda was like gonna take a reasonable amount, and for some reason I was just like, fuck it, I'll just take like 5 to 10 times more than Amanda. I don't know what I was thinking, especially because let me, I don't know if this doesn't make sense to some of the more like goody two-shoed listeners, but when you are trying to go to a social thing where there's like drugs involved, you really want to think about the balance of like social interaction versus like what you want from like the drug. Like that's why like alcohol is so beloved, which is that it's like, having a few beers, it really does like lubricate these like social interactions, and for psychedelics, it's a real toss-up as to whether they're gonna like help you like have a good time with other people or not, or whether you're gonna like kind of end up in your own head. Thankfully, we get there, we show up at the bar, which is pretty close to the we just walked down, like it was like a block from the hotel, and we get in there, and I'm immediately started to get like so anxious on the come up. I just feel this like wellspring of like anxiety and like just like fear like build up in my chest. So I was like sitting beside Amanda for a while, but I started to get like weirded out by the crowd, and like it felt like the entire crowd was like couples, I can't even explain, like for something about this show, it drew a lot of couples to come out to see it. So it's kind of funny though, like it definitely like gave you the feeling when you're sitting there, like just sort of like reeling, that you're like, oh shit, like, oh, maybe I don't want to bother these people. I don't want to talk to them. And especially when you're like tripping, it's really hard to like try and like figure out whether you're being normal or not. Really, if you're thinking about that, you're probably not being normal, or at least you're probably being very anxious. So I remember like having to stand up, go get water. We were sitting in the room where the stage was, and I went over to the next room, and I started talking to Nick Dean, who was a comic on the show. I forget what I ended up talking to him about, but later he told me that I was like so clearly so anxious that he barely understood a word of the sentence that I spoke to him. Like I kind of just went up and was having like and kind of like flapping my hands just like anxiously. And I remember telling him, I guess I said to him, I was like, somebody was like, oh yeah, so do you know where the bathroom is? And he points me to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, I just got it. I know what this is. I've been here before. I am so high on mushrooms that I just need a second. I just need to hide to the bathroom. I need to leave this room, hide in a small one until things chill out. Then I go over to the bathroom, and there's a line. So in my head, I'm like, oh, well, all these people have real problems. I just took too many drugs, so I don't need to be in the bathroom. I remember I went back into the other room. I sat down and the show started. It was pretty cool. I will say, one of the main reasons to talk about it is that like the show really stuck with me because of how unique it is. I do stand-up comedy. I see a lot of stand-up comedy, and I will say it still sticks out to me with how unique it is. It is not often that you get to see like a little Steve Gillespie, the little hippie comedian, you know, the little trip doula, run a comedy show while there's a DJ up on stage too, and the DJ's also high. It was pretty cool. It was kind of a vibe. I think I took too many mushrooms because I remember at times like the comedy and the music together were like overwhelming, but I will honestly say that like one day I do hope to kind of like run a show like this because it was pretty cool. It also, like, I mean, it's just, I respect any show that like pushes the boundary of like what comedy can be. Yeah. Anyways, we ended up hanging out afterwards. I floated outside to the smoking section, you know. I'm having a dart outside with some other people. I'm shooting the shit. It seems like everybody by this point, after the comedy show, had kind of gotten to the point where we're all like on psychedelics, but we're all past our like anxious peak, and we can all talk. Like now we can all get social. So that was really nice. I remember having some like cool talks with like just, you know, guys that hang around Morgantown, like around like the music venue bar we were at. Super cool. And while I was standing there, a car like screeches to a halt in the middle of the road. And I look over, and on top of the car is one of those like light up like plastic like decal things that like basically like it shows that the car was like delivering pizza, you know, like it's for some pizza place. And I see a guy get out of the back seat of this pizza delivery car, and he's very clearly like fucked up, and he's like, whoa! Like he screams with his arms out, and he runs towards the crowd. And I'm assuming this wild maniac was some sort of like regular at the venue. Because I remember he like hugged one of the bouncers, he like hugged some of the people around. But then the problem was that this guy was like really like going down and being like, bring it in. And at this rate, I was like still tripping kind of hard, and I definitely did not want this. I got like really, when I saw he was going down the line hugging people, I was like really anxious that he was gonna hug me. And we all know how life works. That basically made it that like he definitely had to fucking hug me. And so he goes in and he kind of comes at me for a hug, and I remember like the first time I was definitely anxious, so like my voice kind of kicked up, but I was like, oh no, I'm good, thanks you. Hey, not me. And I remember he kept going in for the hug, like he started to like make a joke out of it, but he was also pretty fucked up too, so he wasn't taking no for an answer, which I didn't like. So this guy like is like, come here, you need it, and he like pulls me into a hug, and I like shoved him. Like I did give him like a full like palms on the collarbones shove. I didn't. He actually stumbled backwards a little bit. He got the vibe. The bouncers kind of were like, hey, don't bother the people, and it was kind of funny. But it's like, yeah, I remember literally just being like, hey, just not today, I didn't want to hug today, like. Yeah, so I floated back inside. I told my friends about it, and then they were sort of like, oh, you know, we were like, you know, looking to smoke some pot, and I had brought joints, but I had to walk back up to the room to get them. So as I'm leaving the venue just to run back up to the room and then run back, I go out, and right there are the bouncers and this guy who, well, the guy who assaulted me with that hug. And it's actually funny. I could see the bouncers talking to him, just telling him to chill out, and I felt bad. So I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, bring it in. And I hugged the guy on my own terms. I made it right. And as I was like pulling away from the hug, I got an idea, and I like cupped his face in my hands, and I looked him in the eyes, and I said, "I didn't know it was you," which really seemed to perturb him. Yeah, but anyways, it was a good night.
What? I was trying to make an actual point here. Like, he's got game, but that's not the one I was thinking of. Okay.
Juana Man.
I lost it. Oh no, here's my train of thoughts. That is, I have in my mind this, like, in terms of like people that are trans people, I don't think of it as like transitioning. I think of it as like it's like transposing the spectrum of gender. So like, I don't interpret it as like, to be trans you have to be transitioning from one thing to another. It's that you are subverting the idea of social gender. So like, is that, as a trans person, is that you don't have to be on hormone replacement therapy to consider yourself trans.
No, okay, so that's actually the thing where it's like, again, frankly, I need to stay off Twitter. That's honestly what this comes down to, where it's like, yeah, like Twitter kind of confuses this, because I've had like arguments with specific like trans people and stuff. But no, even if you're just like non-binary and you want to be they them, you're trans from that. Like, yeah, so you're right, actually. Basically, you're kind of trans from the moment you like accept that there's a gender spectrum, which like there is. But that's the sort of thing too, where it's like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with like yeah, like, okay, for the same reason that like man and woman are like naturally occurring categories, and if you naturally feel that's you, good, that's awesome. Like, I think that's honestly just the biggest thing, where it's like, well, you're right, yeah. Well, you know, Demi Lovato, fucking Demi Lovato, like she came out as they came out as non-binary, but
then they switched back.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Demi Lovato literally said that it's like, I just got sick of asking people to call me they. Everyone just call me fucking girl. So it's like, you know, so you get that thing of like, it seems like there's literally examples of people who are like, oh, this is how I feel with myself, but yeah, no one like respects that.
I believe everyone should get a bad haircut
100%.
at some point in their life, so that they can experience what it's like to
You had one of the worst haircuts.
be misgendered, and that will really open up your world a little bit.
You're completely right. Yeah, well, because all you're saying is that like everyone needs to experience being in a body they don't want to be.
I think
That's exactly what I'm saying.
everyone.
I mean, there's
It's a lot easier though when you have like the longer hair to start for.
yes,
The super
sure.
You could try to put some zebra stripes in. I'm telling you.
And this is
I get bad haircut, but I don't think it'd be bad enough where I got misgendered.
no, this really only works for you know, identified as female at birth, and I'm a cisgendered person as far as I know.
Listen, buddy, you actually just have a lot going on in that regard, where it's like, yeah, like, no, even if you would be like, you'd still be like a butch lady, like, also, like, it's like, specifically, I know lesbians who
Actually, you might actually look kind of like me if you shaved your face like completely. We could probably actually be kind of like cousins, really, if you think. Like,
honestly, that's the biggest thing. Right? Yeah.
like, give me you shave it. I'm gonna Photoshop a cap on me in that picture, and we could be like brothers. Honestly,
I don't know what to say to that. It's painful.
Audience will think how similar they look. Again, that's no, honestly, okay.
am I younger? I mean, you're considerably younger than me.
Okay, this is actually so much fun. Yeah, sorry, God. See, this is what I mean. This is why I always have issues with like grabbing these podcasts.
Maybe a little.
No, I'm actually I'm gonna call it here.
Lenore, Claire has a question for Shay.
I don't really have a question other than, will you come to my birthday party? 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 I don't really have a question other than, will you come to my...
Alright, take care. Thanks for writing, okay? Write back soon, man.
Stay brutal and sick. And don't forget to send back my stamps.